This is the story of the time I almost got kidnapped. Welcome, that's my dog, to the time I... See,
Hi.
I was in college, right? At UCI. I had spent almost 4 years there, basically just studying. I was pre-med for half of my college, and then I switched to film and media studies. As you could imagine, going to several classes that you really didn't care anything about, I had to take them because they were required for the career path that I did want. Now I'm doing YouTube, which I'm so happy for, and I'm doing more acting. But basically, and the only travel I did during that time was going to Japan to see my family, which is awesome. I love them so much. So I decided, my 4th year, I will take the cheapest flight I can find. Mike, do you see this? Or what are you doing, dude? Literally, what are you doing, huh? Okay, chill. I need you to chill, bro. I'm trying to tell a story here. I had a bit of a head injury a week before this trip. Do you know how in the gyms they have these machines that like move like arms? The arm cable machine? Well, silly old me. This is the machine. I'm right here underneath. Cable, attachment, rope right here. Pulley. Pulling it down with lots of force. I think I was doing like 80 to 100 pounds. Just pulling down using all my triceps. And with every rep, I had no idea, but the pin holding up the arm like this here was slowly coming out. What was that? What just happened? What was that noise? I have no idea until suddenly an immense pain comes from my head. So I go, oh, why does my head hurt so much? I can't explain this kind of pain. I can't even feel it because of how painful it is. Get my hands down, they're covered in blood. So I run to the front desk where I actually used to work of the gym, and I'm like, dude, look at my forehead. Is there anything there? You're like bleeding a lot, dude. I didn't have a concussion, but I was like, dude, can you like call the ambulance, please? Because I don't know what to do. I have never felt this kind of pain before. Ambulance comes. They're like, Ian, you got a centimeter deep laceration in your head. It was about this big. And so they're like, oh, you got 2 options. You can take an ambulance, which is gonna cost about a couple $1,000, and you don't have health insurance, so you're gonna have to pay that out of pocket. Or you can have a friend drive you later on. And one person who was there who was studying to be a nurse was like, I can drive you. And then of course all my friends, my parents, everyone is like, Ian, you can't go on your Costa Rica trip. You can't do this. You had a literal hole put into your head. Like, why are you gonna go on this trip? And I was like, no, it's something I have to do. It's my first real solo trip, going somewhere where I don't know anybody by myself. I gotta do it. It was my personal journey. If you've ever read The Alchemist. To go find summer while it's winter in California. Costa Rica. Pura vida. That's what they say in Costa Rica. It means pure life. I reach out to a lot of different travel agencies, to a lot of Airbnbs, a lot of places, try to work with them in exchange for free stay because I don't want to pay for housing. They say yes and agree to have me come stay in their biggest room for free in exchange for some photos. So I'm like, okay, the trip's working out. It comes time for me to book, or no. Oh, I can't speak, dude. Aura, give me a hug. Give me a hug. Ah! Ah! I get off the plane. I'm like the only Asian dude there. And I'm like, whoa, this is weird. Because I just came from my college, UCI, where 70% of the students there are Asian. Anyways, I didn't book a rental car. I was under 25 and you have to be over 25 to book a rental car. I'm now 25. Yay. Oh, stop, dude, I need to, we're outside. Like, the moment I'm like, I need to take her out, you need to go. She's just like sitting on her bed, flipped upside down by her, throwing a tantrum because I'm talking to you guys instead of her. This girl lives like a princess, dude. Free food, free stay, luxurious life, free house. This ain't even my house, this is her house. I just live in it. I went through TSA, like the security checkpoint at the airport, and they're like, why do you keep beeping? And I'm like, oh, it's because I have staples in my head. I land in Costa Rica. This guy starts taking my suitcases to his car, and he's like, you come with me. I take you wherever you need to go. And I'm like, I guess I'm in this. I thought I was gonna get kidnapped. I thought I was gonna get killed. I thought my life was over. I meet some cool people. The first night, I got there around like sunset time, go straight to the beach, fly my drone. It's awesome, it's beautiful, it's everything I could have imagined and more. And then I hang out in the common room where all the other travelers are staying. And there's one guy in particular, quit everything to just walk around the world and play his guitar. And I was very like interested about this guy. Because another thing is, he had a machete. That was his security. Look at this. Hold on, you want? The description of this toy said it was made of the real food, but I want to make sure she doesn't like actually eat it because it feels like plastic. Dude, look at her eyes right now. She's like so invested in this thing. Hold on, look at that, look at that. And then when I pull on it, Oh, dude. I talked to Lars for a bit longer that night. We just talked about life and like traveling and all that, why he's traveling around with a machete, like all these cool things. And he was from Denmark, I believe. I think it was already like 12 or 1 by the time we went to sleep, so we were like, okay, 8 hours of sleep, totally cool. 8 a.m. comes around. I'm still asleep in bed because I'm jet lagged. Sleeping until like 9, walk out, everyone's gone. Except for my boy Lars. Lars comes in, he's like, everyone left, dude. And I'm like, shoot, you're right. What should we do? You wanna go hitchhiking with me to the mountains? Hitchhiking? Like doing this to cars and just going to the mountains? Yeah, why not? 6'3" dude with a machete who could possibly kill me. Hitchhike with him in a stranger's car to the mountains where we'll probably hike into, possibly get stranded, maybe kidnapped, have an adventure? Ooh, adventure. Okay, cool. Let's do it. We go to one of the workers of the Airbnb and we ask like, yo, where's the nearest like waterfall, mountain hike that we can do where we get some super awesome views? Oh, I know. Grabs a paper, grabs some crayons, draws a map, and he draws a circle and he ends up finishing the line into a shape of what you probably already know I'm talking about, which I don't want to say on here, so I don't want to get demonetized. He drew a We had to follow the map that was shaped like a Why did I agree to this? I don't know. Anyways, we start walking towards the street. As soon as we get to the street, I'm walking behind Lars and he just throws his thumb up. And I'm like, whoa, you done this before? And he's like, trust the universe. Car pulls in. That's the first car. I was like, do you know this guy? And he's like, no. I'm like, okay. We get into the car. Turns out to be some chill people. We show them the map where we want to go to. I think it was a girl. She laughs and she's like, I know where to take you. Okay. We just follow wherever the car goes to before we get to this like sketchy long path towards a giant mountain. We're like, okay, let's stop by the supermarket right here and get some fruits. And I had a 50-pound bag with drones and cameras. And so we go with our 3 bananas, machete, into these sketchy mountains. And before that, we have to walk like 5 miles throughout like farmland, jungle land, and forest land. The cool thing is, while walking amongst this beautiful land of jungle and forest, we come across some of the most beautiful animals I'd ever seen. I mean, the stuff you see on like National Geographic documentaries, the stuff I grew up wanting to see my entire life. We saw monkeys and orangutans swinging from tree to tree. It was absolutely insane. And we were like, dude, looks so beautiful. And he was like, you wanna go? And I was like, are you sure? And not gonna lie, I thought I was gonna get kidnapped or something because I still had just met this guy. Like I trusted him, but I was still a little wary. So I was like, I'm gonna trust this 6'3" guy with a machete as he whips through the hayfield to get to this giant tree that we wanted to see. We eventually get to this tree and like we had so many like cuts on our legs from thorns and like leaves everywhere on our shirts from him just whipping all the hay around. But it was beautiful, man. This tree was like, it looked like the tree of life. Lars is like, yo, you wanna borrow my machete and whip us a new path back to the main path to get to the mountains? And I was like, oh, he's gonna let me carry the machete. So I can trust this guy as long as I don't do anything crazy with the machete. I use it, whip it around. It's not an easy task whipping a machete to make a new path through a hayfield. Hand the machete back to Lars, and then he grabs me by the neck, pulls the machete up like this, and he's like, ha ha ha, you should have never given me back the machete. Just kidding, that never happened. And we come across this giant tree, big like watermelon looking fruits, perfectly circular. And we're like, what is this? And he's like, I don't know, just crack it open and then eat it. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, if it's poisonous, we just die, all good. But of course I'm curious and adventurous too, so I'm down. Grabs it, throws it on the ground, cracks open, and I kid you not, it looks like ice cream poured out of this fruit. Puts it in his mouth and he's like, tastes like ice cream. I'm like, no way, dude. He's like, yeah, really? God, I hope it's not poisonous. Grab some, try it, man. That stuff tasted just like ice cream. We are drenched in sweat at this point. We're tired. We haven't eaten anything the entire day. And the only way to get to the actual top is to go past this gated, like a house kind of thing. We're like, okay, let's get into it. We walk up to the gate. Little do we know, keys are already inside of it. So we're like, you know what? It's gotta be a sign. We go in, walk towards the edge. We see the whole landscape of Costa Rica all the way until the beach. The views are absolutely insane. We're like, you know what? We get kidnapped or something, but right now this view is worth it. I find my drone, most beautiful drone shot I've probably ever taken. And this is the crazy thing. On the way down, these 2 white doves fly in front of us like this the whole entire way down. This is why I'm spiritual, dude. Like I believe in this stuff so much because spiritual protectors or something just like guiding us down the mountain, just being like, hey, you're safe, we're here. All right, you're at the bottom, you made it now. And of course I see a scorpion. And now being as spiritual as I am, I'm like, that had to be a sign, dude. Because I'm a Scorpio. And it's my first time seeing a scorpion just so up close and personal like that. Everything makes sense now. 20-year-old Ian, good job on taking that trip because 25 Ian now realizes 5 years later how many signs we're on that trip. Anyways, I get to the bottom, right? And then Lars is like, it's your time to hitchhike now. I'm like, wait, really? And he's like, yeah, I did it to get here, now it's your turn. And I was like, I put up my thumb, no one comes in. Put up my thumb, no one comes in. Put my thumb, no one comes. Put my thumb the 5th time, and someone stops for us. And guess who stopped for us? It was the cops. Cop pulls over. We don't know it's the cop at this point because you can't tell from the outside. It was one of those like undercover cop cars. And we're like, oh, thank you so much, thank you so much. Can we please get a ride to Huckle Inn? And he's like, yes, sure, get in. So that happened. We told them the entire story about like what happened in the mountains. They laughed. They were like, oh yes, we've been there too. And then we have a good time in the car. I thought I was gonna get kidnapped so many times. It was an awesome experience. That trip changed so much in me. There were so many times I could have gotten kidnapped. Something could have gone wrong, especially as a woman. So if you're a woman, a girl, please travel very safely, travel with a partner, a person, and like literally anyone. Don't do anything too dangerous because I definitely pushed it and was traveling a little bit too on the edge. But honestly, looking back, that was worth it for me. It's a big character building arc for me to do that trip. But I mean, hey, if you guys enjoyed this video and you wouldn't mind an hour-long video, let me know in the comments and share this with your friends or share with people who you think would want to watch it. You know, watch it with your dinner, watch it with your lunch, watch it on your lunch breaks. Let this be your new show if you enjoyed it. All right, guys, I love you. My Ian Nation Battalion. Oh, I miss saying that. It's been so long. I'll see you in the next episode of The Time. So dramatic. And follow me on Instagram to support at Ian Boggs with a Z. That ready to watch my next video. Subscribe. Please hit like, comment your favorite part of the video. And I love you so much, my Ian Nation Battalion. Oh! Yeah, that was a good one. Did you do it with me? Please do it with me next time. Or do it now. Oh! See you later. Peace.